Imagine standing at the edge of a vast, uncharted wilderness. The air is thick with possibility, the horizon blurred by the unknown. This is where we find ourselves now, not in a physical place, but in a moment in time where the stakes have never been higher, the challenges never more complex, and the opportunities never more profound. What I'm about to share isn't just a collection of ideas. It's a call to awaken to truths we've ignored, to possibilities we've underestimated, and to responsibilities we can no longer afford to postpone. You must hear this. The world is loud. Voices clamor for attention through screens, headlines, algorithms, and noise. Yet, beneath the chaos, there's a quiet, persistent truth. Humanity is at a crossroads. We've built systems that connect us globally, but isolate us personally. We've created technologies that empower us, but also erode our empathy. We've achieved progress in ways that uplift some while leaving others behind. This paradox isn't accidental. It's the consequence of choices. And choices once made ripple outward. They shape families, communities, nations, and the future itself. What we do next, what you do next matters. Consider this. The most transformative moments in history didn't happen because people stayed comfortable. They happened because someone dared to listen to the whispers of injustice, the cries of the marginalized, the silent despair of those who felt invisible. Listening is not passive. It's an act of courage. To truly hear another person, their pain, their hopes, their humanity, is to acknowledge that their story matters. But we've forgotten how to listen. We've replaced dialogue with debate, curiosity with judgment, and compassion with convenience. Relearning this skill isn't just noble, it's survival. When we listen, we heal. When we heal, we grow. When we grow, we change the world. But here's the deeper truth. You cannot listen if you refuse to confront what's uncomfortable. We live in an age of curated realities where algorithms feed us opinions that mirror our own, where it's easier to mute dissent than engage with it. Comfort is a seductive trap. It convinces us that the status quo is safe, that rock in the boat is reckless, that silence is neutrality. But silence is not neutral. Silence is a choice to side with oppression, stagnation, or indifference. The uncomfortable truths, the ones about inequality, climate collapse, systemic injustice, demand more than our attention. They demand our action. Let's talk about action. Action begins with recognizing that every one of us holds power. Not the kind measured in wealth or titles, but the power to influence the people and spaces around us. You don't need permission to be kind. You don't need a platform to advocate for what's right. Change starts small. A conversation, a decision, a moment of integrity when no one is watching. But small actions compound. They inspire others. They create momentum. History's greatest movements were not born in grand halls, but in living rooms, classrooms, and streets where ordinary people decided enough was enough. Yet action without wisdom is fleeting. We must also confront the lies we've been sold. The myth that success is a solo journey, that vulnerability is weakness, that self-interest is the highest virtue. These lies have fractured communities and fueled a crisis of belonging. We're wired for connection. Our survival has always depended on collaboration, on shared purpose, on the understanding that no one thrives alone. Rebuilding these bonds requires humility. It asks us to admit we don't have all the answers, to lean on others, to celebrate collective victories, over individual accolades. Now, let's talk about time, the one resource we can't renew. Every day, we trade hours for distractions, delays, and half-lived dreams. But what if we treated time as the sacred gift it is? What if we stopped waiting for someday and started living with urgency? Procrastination is the enemy of progress. The future isn't a distant abstraction. It's shaped by what we do today, right now, this moment. The planet is warming. Children are hungry. People are lonely. These are not problems for future generations to solve. They are our responsibilities, our tests of character, our chances to leave a legacy that outlives us. Here's what I need you to understand. Hopelessness is a luxury we can't afford. Yes, the challenges are immense. Yes, the road is steep. But look at how far we've come. Medical breakthroughs that once seemed impossible now save millions. Civil rights movements have toppled tyrants and rewritten laws. Every day, ordinary people perform extraordinary acts of courage and creativity. Progress isn't linear, and it's rarely easy, but it is possible. The question is whether we'll commit to being part of it, to showing up even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Let's also confront the myth of perfection. We've been taught to fear failure, to hide our flaws, to perform rather than live authentically. But perfection is stagnation. Innovation thrives in experimentation. Love deepens in vulnerability. Growth happens when we dare to stumble, to learn, to try again. Your imperfections aren't liabilities. They're proof of your humanity. Embrace them. Let them connect you to others. Let them remind you that we're all works in progress, striving towards something better. Finally, let's talk about legacy. What will they say about us when we're gone? Will they speak of complacency, of people who had the tools to change the world but lacked the will? Or will they tell stories of resilience, of communities that came together, of individuals who chose courage over fear? Legacy isn't about monuments or wealth. It's about the lives you touch, the values you embody, the love you leave behind. You must hear this. The future is not predetermined. It's a mosaic of our choices, our actions, our willingness to listen and learn and love fiercely. This is your invitation to step into the uncertainty, to embrace the discomfort, to believe that a better world is possible. It won't be easy. It will demand everything you have, but it will also give you purpose. It will connect you to something larger than yourself. It will remind you that you are alive at the most critical moment in human history, a moment that needs you. So, what will you do? How will you rise? The wilderness ahead is vast, but you are not alone. We walk this path together, and with every step, we have the power to choose complacency or courage, silence or solidarity, despair or determination. The choice is yours. The time is now. You must hear this, and then you must act.